Chapter 2, the laws pertaining to washing one's hands. When a person rises from bed in the morning to the service of Hashem, blessed be he is like a new creation. Therefore, he should sanctify himself, wash his hands from a vessel, as a priest would sanctify his hands from the basin in the temple courtyard each day before his service. This Tehillim contains an allusion to this washing. I will wash my hands with cleanliness and will walk round your altar, O God, to sound the voice of thanksgiving. Another reason is given for this washing. During sleep, when a person's holy soul rises from him, a spirit of impurity comes and rests upon his body. When he rises from sleep, the spirit of impurity leaves his entire body, with the exception of his fingers. It will not pass from them until he pours water on both his hands 3 times, alternating right and left. It is forbidden to walk 4 cubits without washing one's hands, except for a matter of great necessity. A note here is, similarly, it is forbidden to lie awake in bed without washing in this manner. This is from Mishnah Berurah. The first garment a person should put on should be the tzitzis. Thus he will not walk 4 cubits without tzitzis. However, since his hands are not clean, he should not recite the bracha. Another note here is that a person who also wears a talis gadol should have the intention of including the talis cotton when reciting the blessing upon it. A person who does not wear a talis gadol may recite the blessing of tzitzis together with the other morning blessings. He should check his tzitzis and kiss them at that time. This will be expounded further in chapter 9. 3. This is the manner in which one should wash his hands in the morning. He should take the vessel with his right hand, place it in his left hand, and pour water over his right hand first. Afterwards he takes the vessel in his right hand and pours the water on his left hand. This procedure is followed 3 times. It is preferable to wash one's hands until the joint at the forearm. However, under the difficult circumstances, it is sufficient to wash only one's fingers. A person should wash his face out of respect for his Creator, because Bereshit states, man was created in the image of God. He should wash his mouth, because the saliva which remains after sleep is not becoming when he has to recite Hashem's great name in holiness and purity. Afterwards he should dry his hands and dry his face as well. A person must wash his hands into a receptacle. No benefit may be derived from this water, because the spirit of impurity rests upon it. It should be poured out in a place where people do not walk. 5. Before washing his hands, a person should not touch his mouth, nose, eyes, ears, or anus. Neither should he touch food or a place from which blood has been drawn. Otherwise, the spirit of impurity which rests on the hands before washing will cause harm to these. Footnote here, in particular, women should be cautioned concerning this matter because they are involved in the preparation of most of our food. Attention should also be paid to children, and they should not be allowed to touch food before washing their hands. This is sourced in Shulchan, Aruch, Harav, and Mishnah Berurah. A person should also take care not to touch his clothes before washing his hands, also from Shulchan, Aruch, Harav. It is proper to be precise about washing one's hands in the morning with regard to using a vessel, water, and that the water be poured through human power. This contrasts to water coming from a faucet. In the latter instance, only the first spurt of water that comes out when the faucet is open is considered to come through human power. And just as is required when washing one's hands before a meal, see chapter 40. However, in a difficult situation, when the above are not available as desired, one may wash his hands from any object with any water, even if it does not come through human power. After such washing, one may still recite the blessing al Netilas Yadayim. If there is a river close by, it is preferable to immerse his hand in the river. This may be done even in snow. However, if no water is present at all, he should clean his hands with any substance and recite the blessing al Netilas Yadayim. This is sufficient to permit the recitation of one's prayers. Afterwards, should water and the proper vessel become available, he should wash his hands again in the proper manner. However, he should not recite another bracha. Tehillim states, may my soul bless God and all my inner parts, his holy name. Since a person must bless God's name with all the inner parts of his being, it is forbidden to recite a blessing until he cleans out his system from feces and urine. In the morning when he wakes up, a person probably has to defecate or at least urinate, hence he should not recite the blessing al Netilas Yadayim when he washes his hands. Rather, he should wait until he relieves himself and washes his hands a second time, and then recite the blessing al Netilas Yadayim and Asher Yatzar, the blessing before Torah study, and the blessing Elokai Neshama. Footnote here, if one cannot defecate directly after rising, it is sufficient to wait until after one urinates. Mishnah Berurah. There are various customs regarding the order in which the morning blessings are recited. Many authorities prefer the Elokai Neshama be recited after Asher Yatzar. 8. If a person A. got up and washed his hands while it was still night and remained awake until morning, or if a person B. got up, washed his hands at night and went to sleep again that night, if a person C. slept 60 breaths, approximately half an hour during the day, Footnote: Other authorities have different opinions regarding this measure. Some say that it is as long as 3 hours, while others consider it as short as 3 minutes. Hence, with regard to sleeping by day, one should wash his hands after even a short sleep. However, there is no need to take precautions with regard to walking 4 cubits. Or if a person D remained awake the entire night without sleeping 60 breaths, in all these cases there is a question whether he's required to wash his hands or not. Hence, he should wash his hands 3 times, alternating between right and left as described in Law 3. However, he should not recite a bracha. Footnote: Other opinions require that a blessing be recited when a person remains awake the entire night. The accepted practice is that one may recite a blessing after using the lavatory or touching portions of one's body that are usually covered. 9. In all of the following situations, a person is required to wash his hands with water. A. One who rises from bed. B. One who leaves the lavatory. C. One who leaves the bathhouse. D. One who cuts his nails. E. One who cuts his hair. F. One who takes off his shoes. G. One who engages in relations. H. One who touches a louse. I. One who checks his clothes for lice, and even though he does not touch one. J. One who scratches his head. K. One who touches the portions of his body which are usually covered. L. One who leaves a cemetery. M. One who accompanies a corpse. N. One who enters a house which contains a corpse. And O. One who lets blood.